We're Americans. We don't think nor behave like them. That's why we have America and they don't live here. That's why we left their countries, because we don't fit in with their societies. We belong here in America. So it's like two different species of it's two different species of animals. You can't compare what other countries do with and determine how Americans are going to behave, because we are different, we are special. We do not act like them, and we do not think like them. So you can show me Australia where they make this illegal, and they make that illegal, and it actually stops people from doing things. I'm like, wonderful. If that's what you want, and that's how you feel, then move to Australia. But history has shown in America, so let's keep the conversation focused on America. In America, that's not the case. In America, you make something illegal, and Americans want it even more. And they will get it, and they will pay whatever for it. That's why the drug dealers all throughout Latin America, they know the market is in the United States. It's not just because we have the money. It's because it's illegal here. And when something is illegal, Americans want it. And that's why the mafia is in business. What do they sell? They sell gambling, they sell prostitution, they sell drugs, they sold alcohol during the Prohibition with Lansky and Al Capone. They sell Cuban cigars. Whatever it is that America wants, America will pay more for it by making it illegal, because we want it even more. That's how Americans are. You tell us it's illegal, we want it even more. It's like a parent and their kids. They're saying, I'm not going to let you have a candy bar this week. The kid is going crazy, he's got to have a candy bar. The parents say, oh, I'm not going to let you watch The Simpsons this week. The kid's going crazy, he's got to see The Simpsons. Right? The parents say, hey, lady, I'm not going to let you bang that black chick this week. Okay. Alright, so that's what's going on with that. Okay. Any comment on any of that?
Well, first of all, I think people should know the Cato Institute is a libertarian institute. So it's dedicated to promoting libertarian causes.
Does that make the statistics wrong? Does that throw them into question?
I don't know. I'm not an expert in prohibition statistics, but I definitely enjoy Cato Institute's reports, and I have a lot of respect for the Cato Institute. But if it's a topic that ipso facto they have to be dedicated to, such as decriminalizing drugs or alcohol and other questions that are already decided by libertarian policy. It's not like that they can go, oh, maybe we should look at the other side here. So this is an institute that's dedicated to promoting libertarian ideas. And so just like if you're examining the reports of an institute that's dedicated to promoting communism or socialism or environmentalism, you'd have some skepticism about what they have to say. So too with the Cato Institute. I think the Cato Institute's a marvelous place, and I think their work is very respect-worthy, but it's not the only source that you should consult on such questions. So there are varying schools about prohibition. This debate continues to rage about whether it did more good or more harm. According to the Cato Institute, it's very clear prohibition did more harm. According to other people who produce the statistics to argue that prohibition was a good thing. So go ahead and Google it, folks, and make up your own minds.
So in other words, as long as there is somebody who argues against the Cato Institute, no matter how wrong they are, no matter how much they pervert the statistics, you will not change your stubborn position because you're Lady Ford and you refuse to admit that you're ever wrong. And you can just pull crap out of your ass, and as long as you can find some stupid idiot on the internet who agrees with it, you've got your support system.
I don't believe the Cato Institute is the sole repository of truth.
By the way, did you see my nephew was in there? He was singing, hey,
he's watching us on his phone.
He's watching us on his phone. He's downloaded the app to his iPhone, and he's like, Luke, I'm a big fan of yours. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you did see that. Okay. Jewish Republican, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to kick your butt if you don't tell us who you are, because you're all over the place in the chat. We want to know who you are. Okay, so that's it. That's all I got on that. That's the follow-up.
Great. So, I also don't think human nature is that different in wanting to use drugs or prostitutes or pornography, whether it's in the United States or Europe, or Australia. So, I mean, again, I'm sure there are statistics for this, like what happens when you prohibit prostitution or pornography or certain drug use. You can check the stats, and I don't think Americans in this respect will be that much different from Europeans or Australians.
Oh, I think they will be. And I don't even think any stats between the two that are similar or different, whatever, is coincidental. I think it's irrelevant completely. I hate it. It's one of those things that's just a pet peeve when people say, "Oh, look at the Europeans. Oh, look at them. You know, we should be more like them." No, we're completely different than Europeans, and the proof is that we're here, and they're not. So right there, you see that our values are completely different. Anyone who comes to America and leaves Europe, that's an American. The people who they're escaping from, who elected to stay there, those are Europeans. To compare us is illogical. Just the fact that we left and they stayed tells us that we're two different breeds of people. We think differently, we do things differently. We rebelled, we picked up, we didn't fit in with them. So by nature, we are rebels. We're the rebels. We think for ourselves, and we disagree with how the authority over there treated us. So we came over here. There, we like the authority, we're okay with it, and we're good with it. So yeah, it doesn't really surprise me if we make something illegal over there that they're going to abide by it. Don't buy a gun, okay, I won't. Don't do drugs, okay, I won't, because that's how they are. But you tell an American, don't buy a gun, he says, go to hell. I'll move to America and I'll buy a gun. That's why the America was created. That's why the Second Amendment is for guns, because we were not allowed to have guns under European, British rule or whatever. So that's something that's an inalienable right. And we feel that is intrinsic part of being human, is to have all these things. If there were 10 amendments today, 10 Bill of Rights, it would say in the First Amendment, along with speech and freedom of religion and the freedom of the press, it would be freedom to smoke pot, to drink alcohol. Nobody ever thought to put these things in there. To snort crystal meth, blue crystal meth, to do a few lines of coke and shoot up some heroin. You should have the rights to do these things. You should have the right to bang a hooker and to be in porn and to watch it, right? You should have the right to gamble and go to, Vegas or whatever. You shouldn't have to go to Vegas. You should be able to gamble in your house with your friends. You should be able to, bet on the sports and whatever. You should have all these inalienable rights. It's not for the government to interfere and to tell you that you can't do these things because they're bad for you. Okay? That's the kind of talk, that's pussy talk. Okay? That's the kind of talk that you might see in Europe or in Australia. And people would go, okay, I'll be a good Australian or European, and I'll put away the gambling and the drugs and everything, and no hookers for me. And that's fine. We left those people. We own guns, we watch porn, and we bang hookers here in America. That's what a big American is. That's why you're here, Levy. If you don't like it, go back to Australia. Nobody wants you here. Got it? Nobody's going to miss you. All right.
Okay, so now you're all wound up. Let's transition to, you have a big drasha on the difference between a sinner and a heretic.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for a Jewish Republican.
Okay, so you've bugged him like 20 times.
How do you know it's a him?
His identity.
How do you know it's a him?
Because I can tell by the way someone writes whether they're male or female.
Oh my God! Are you serious?
Yeah.
What about the way Jewish Republican writes makes it sound like that?
I can just tell he has a penis. I can spot penises like a mile away.
Well, you are looking for them.
It's a gift. I'm just a vessel.
All right. So I was watching last week's show, and I noticed that you presented to me a bogus question, and you tried to get me to agree